So,
All right, what's happening, y'all? This is Avidan. Welcome to another episode of the Chillcast. And I did not fix this screen. We have the whole chat showing. So that was all Nick's idea. Nick literally, all right, fun fact in the chat for the reason why we started off a little bit differently is because Nick in the chat literally started off by saying, quoting Easy E lyrics. And it happened to be Boys in the Hood. And when I heard that, when I said that, I said, you know what? This is for you, Nick. We're going to play this beat just for you. Now, I probably got a copyright claim on this video, but it is what it is. So, with that said, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the episode 87 of the Chillcast. We're going to be talking about a lot of good stuff tonight. And it's going to be a lot of good fun tonight. So, what's going on? Starting off with Josh. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Not too shabby. I was not here last week because I went home to surprise my dad for his retirement and everything, so that was really cool. And then this week's been good. I've been trying to get on the Phantasy Star Online 2 beta for about the past hour, but you can't log into the server, so I don't know if I'm gonna have any success with that. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty good week, man. Nothing too crazy going on. So yeah.
Nice. What else have you been playing this week, man?
As far as the other things I've been playing, I actually started playing Hyrule Warriors because I was like, if Persona 5 Scramble is going to come out and that's a Muso style game, maybe I should try something that's kind of in that vein to see if I'm going to like it. And I've actually been enjoying my time with it. It doesn't have like the deepest story or anything, and it's a little rough, but it does play like a solid 60 frames per second in docked mode, at least on the Switch, and it's fun enough if you just want some mindless hack and slash action. But it's weird because I feel like that type of game can get dismissed as hack and slash, but there's really a lot of strategy to it in terms of like where you go on the board and making sure that you're staying on top of objectives and everything. And I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Cool. Next up, we got Mr. Rob Regal. What's going on, man? How you living, bro?
hey man, cool. You already know. Another week of life. I'm here. I can't complain about not a thing, man.
You alive?
I'm alive.
Well, there you go, man. It's always a blessing, man. Good.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Like literally, man. It's a blessing. But anyway, man, what you been playing this week, dude?
This week I've been playing a whole bunch of GTA Online.
You have
like
been.
That's really been my jam.
You have been.
I'm really enjoying it.
I literally came on one stream, and this dude literally had the mic muted, and I'm like, is this dude gonna see us at all? And
it was literally 60 seconds of the mic being muted, man. I saw it like right after.
You counted? You really counted? How long? How did you know?
I counted.
How did you know it was 60 seconds?
Because OBS has a timer.
Dang, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, it wasn't too bad, man. But no, it's been a whole bunch of GTA Online. I played a little bit of Red Dead Online.
All right, cool. Yeah, GTA 5 was funny because you literally heard someone talking about someone's mother in the background. I was like, dang, mad reckless. Yeah. Chat, turn up chat, homies. Oh, Brian Flossie said turn up chat. Okay, what up, BP? But yeah, man, glad you're doing well, man. We're gonna move on to our guest of the evening. We got Tether Gaming. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for having me back.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Thanks for reaching out, because I was literally thinking about, who should I have one as a guest tonight? And literally, when I saw you was one to come through, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So, wow, man, what's been going on with you lately, bro? You still streaming on Twitch?
I've been real busy with life stuff. So,
I get it.
I kind of had to put like the Twitch and stuff on the back burner, but I recorded some videos today. I'm gonna sit down, edit a bunch of stuff tomorrow, and hopefully next week I'll be back in the swing of live streaming and everything like that.
Well, listen, man, take care of life as you need to, man. It's like,
yeah,
trust me, there's been times where if I wasn't able to get certain things done throughout the week before Friday, some Chillcast episodes would have been. Cap, I'm gonna respond to that in a second, okay? There would have been certain episodes that I probably would have had to cancel.
Yeah.
Because life comes at you fast, and you got to deal with
hard,
you got to deal with some different things. You got to maneuver around. So Listen, man, if you need anything else, like on the real, like hit me up on like Twitter or anything. Like you got my DM, you got me on Discord. If you need any help or just any advice or anything, you just need to talk, let me know.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, it's nothing really that serious. It's just other things that just require a lot of attention. That's all. There's nothing dire or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I appreciate it though.
Definitely. But moving on, we got, is NX back yet? Oh, yeah, he is. Okay, cool. Yeah. NX, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what up? Not too much other than school. Been really stressed about that, but
what year are you in now?
Junior, I guess. I'm pretty close to 3/4 of the way done.
Okay.
So,
well, listen. Just focus on getting school. Like, don't like if you can't make it, don't even worry about making it on a Chillcast every Friday. Like, what you told me what you got to do in school, that's stressful.
This has been my hardest semester by far. So far, anyways.
Well,
I'm just dealing with some classes that I kind of need to know what's going on, but it doesn't really have anything to do with game development in itself. So it's kind of outside of what I've been learning, but that's all right.
Cool.
Other than that, games really just been playing the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. I finally finished that the other day, and it's been great.
Nice. I actually just got back into playing PSO2, which I'll talk more about that soon. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing good. As for me, been working on a lot of videos, guys. If you guys haven't seen the latest Beats for Breakfast episode, that features RGT85. We talk about a lot of stuff on there, so go check that out after the Chillcast. But in terms of games this week, I really didn't play DBZ Kakarot this week at all, actually. That's what I'm gonna play this weekend. I'm gonna play that game this weekend. But I've been playing a lot more PSO2. Like with them bringing the beta over to the Xbox, I say, you know what? Let me just dust this game off again. And I might be playing the game more often again. Those streams are a lot of fun playing that game with you guys. So expect more PSO2 streams. I'm seeing that the English servers are having a lot of problems, a lot of lag, and it's a beta test, so that's to be expected. The game itself doesn't really lag out when I play. For those of you who've been over to my streams, you see the gameplay is very fluid, and I'm playing over here in America. So, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into tonight's topics. And for those of you before we do that, I want to actually go over everyone who's here tonight. So we're gonna go over hold up. What is wrong with my computer right now? There we go. I actually want to go over everyone who's in the chat. So we're going to start over at the top, starting with the captain of art, Captain Dasher. What's going on, man? I see you say you got your parents' permission. If you are able to join the Discord, man, just though it's, is language gated and everything, I'll make sure everything's all right. But you could join Discord either by Patreon or by YouTube membership by hitting that join button if you're interested in joining Captain. But again, I'm making only an exception for you on different instances, and I might have to make sure your settings are make sure your settings are catered towards you, so to make sure it's a safe environment for you and everything, because even though I'm confident how my community is still at the end of the day, I'm still looking out, for your safety and everything. So we'll talk more about that and everything. I just wanted to make sure, we said that all like you got your parents' permission. Tether, thank you for also coming back again. Puzzle Guy, what's going on? Tony, what's good? BP, what is good? Chris Levi, what is good? Samuel Haim, what is good? We're going to do question and answers later, but I could save that GameCube game. I didn't own a GameCube, so I really can't answer that question outside of Smash Melee. Yeah. That's all I can say. Smash Melee. But moving on to the actual discussion. Should major developers create Kickstarters? Now, the reason why I brought this up is because Platinum Games put out a Kickstarter for the wonderful 101 remastered, and literally in a day, made over $1 million in that Kickstarter. Now that doesn't say that happens often, but it brings the question: should developers take the time to go ahead and have a Kickstarter to bring back old games they may not feel the most confident in doing well sales wise? Anyone who wants to take that, go ahead.
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, especially if it's an older series like that, and they don't feel confident in it, but the people are saying they want it, why should it not be funded by the people? That makes sense to me.
Right.
I mean,
they made the goal in a day, so that speaks volumes.
If you read what actually happened, though, that I hear an echo. Whose end is that on?
That's probably me with these headphones. Hold up. I'll fix that immediately. Give me a second. Proceed.
But what I was saying is that this is really actually kind of a Nintendo thing, because Nintendo owned the IP, and Platinum Games wanted to put it on other platforms, but Nintendo only said they'd fund it if it was exclusive to the Switch, and Platinum Games said no. Basically, they want to put it on more platforms, which Nintendo gave them permission, but they said they need to fund it themselves, and that's why they went to Kickstarter. I still think I
still support it. I'm about to say, that still sounds like a good reason.
Yeah, it's a good reason, but it kind of changes the context. But even still, I'm not saying you're wrong about that, Rob. I actually agree with you in either context. I just think it's important to know what happened in this circumstance.
No, definitely. It's nothing wrong with adding more details to it. But even with that being the case, I think that's a good reason to do it. Like, if Nintendo wants to be big bad Nintendo, we got to keep everything here at Nintendo. And if you want to do it, a different way, you got to figure it out yourself. I mean, they found out a way to do it themselves. Like, they won, and they deserve to win.
Yeah. So I'm for it, honestly. I feel as though it, like you said, if the people are willing to fund it and everything, this opens the door for other games to be remade. Rob, you're about to be excited. This opens the door for Xenogears. This opens the door for Chrono Trigger. This opens the door for a lot of games.
Gears.
Do we want Chrono Trigger remade?
Huh?
Does anybody want Chrono Trigger remade?
Yeah,
they just like they're doing Trials of Mana.
Yes, I want a Chrono Trigger remake. Are you crazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not afraid they're gonna ruin it?
Yeah, I feel like as a purist, you might be worried about that, Rob.
Listen. By the looks of Trials of Mana and by the looks of Final Fantasy VII Remake, they are on my good side right now. They are on my good side right now. They soured. Yes, Secret of Mana 1 was horrible. But Trials of Mana made up for it, and Final Fantasy VII Remake shows that on the high end, they've taken this stuff seriously. So, yes, a Chrono Trigger remake is cool.
Yeah, and I mean, the original always exists for the purist if you want to go back to it.
I agree with what Chip said in the chat. If they do Kickstarters, they should give everyone who funded it discounts. I agree with that.
Well, I mean, if you fund at a certain tier, you get the game.
You get the game.
Yeah, you get the game.
Like, I think I did the Wonderful 101 one. I think I did 41, and I got a physical copy of the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, but I want to just break this chat open more. People from the chat and you guys on the Chillcast, what are some games that you guys would like to see funded, by the people, if they would like to be remade and stuff like that?
Well, I would like Atlas to just put everything on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
All them games they hold in hostage, just put them all on Kickstarter.
Yeah, what Sip says, scale-bound. That would be great.
Scale-bound.
I'm okay with that.
Scale-bound. I would, what game I would actually want, because it's like, if I feel like there's probably like some conflicts of interest, I would want them to do a remake of Mario RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Like a real legit remake of Mario RPG, because there's so many people who, or better yet, not even just Mario RPG, let's talk about a fighting game. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. You know, bring that back.
Oh wow.
Like, like bring back some of these games. I feel like, you know, funding these games by the people and like making them remastered, it'll do good. It'll do good. It's like you won't lose out because you got the money, the cost it would take to fund the game itself.
My only thing is just getting burned on Kickstarter. I still remember Mighty Number 9. Like that is still very fresh in my mind. That's my only concern with like Kickstarter projects in general. But I mean, I trust Platinum's quality, so I didn't really trip when they decided that they were going to do it. But I don't know about just every company going out there like pulling stuff out of the trunk. Like, hey, we have this. Do you want to fund this Kickstarter? Like, say, you know, what if Activision, they're like, hey, we will make a brand new Crash platforming game if we reach this amount of funding. I don't know if I would trust them necessarily to deliver quality, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Right.
get it.
So it's a slippery slope, and I think there are some concerns about these big companies going and doing Kickstarters because at the end of the day, they can always find it in the budget to make the games. Like they're making games, they could move stuff around, shift schedules around, all of that stuff. So it's slippery.
It is a slippery slope.
I think it can be slippery. I've been burned on Kickstarter before, not for a game purchase, but for like a tech purchase. But I also think that they're sort of in a unique position too, because I feel like Platinum's going to have way more media attention surrounding them doing a Kickstarter than just like a standard indie developer would. So I think there's a little bit. I think it almost swings a little bit more in favor of the consumer in this scenario, just because like they're going to be under, I think, harsher scrutiny than some random guy who's like, "Hey, I'm going to make an indie game," and then it gets delayed for like 6 years because Platinum's not going to tarnish their reputation just as a developer if they irritate thousands of fans who are like, hey, you were asking for money, we support it, where's the game at? Like, at least I would hope not. I've seen weirder things happen in the game industry, but I would really hope that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
I do agree that it could be slippery though, because it does set a weird precedent. Like, is some other AAA developer, well, I don't know if you would call them AAA per se, but would some other large developer, someone you would definitely not consider an indie developer, start being like, oh, look, we can just get a whole bunch of extra money for almost nothing, and then just throw in a bunch of physical rewards that comparatively are, peanuts on the dollar for us to produce and ship out to people, rather than, dip into our own coffers to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's business, though, right? If you can insulate yourself from risk, I mean, I can see the appeal for them. I just, again, like, Kickstarter has not always been sunshine and roses. You're totally right. There have been lots of shady Kickstarter stories, but hopefully this won't be one of them.
Yeah, I'm a backer for whatchamacallit? What's that game? Temtem. I was actually one of the backers for Temtem, and I feel like I got burned on that because it's like I have to wait until 2021 for the Switch version.
Yeah. See, like stuff like that, because they're saying Wonderful 101 will be out in April, which is already kind of weird to me because I've never played the Wii U version, but I know the gamepad was involved with playing the game, so I'm sure there's something that has to be done to kind of fit that onto how the Switch plays games. And if they're going to have that done in 2 months, it's just kind of like, hold up, wait a second.
Listen, hold up. I got to put it to you this way. If we're going to get a Wii U port game, we need Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I hear such great things about that
That's
game.
the
Like,
only game that I want on the Switch.
I'm almost nervous to play that game because all I've heard are glowing reviews. I have not heard a single person say a bad thing about that game, and I'm afraid I'm going to get it in my hands and not like it.
Okay, do you like MMORPGs? Or no, let me rephrase that because it's not really an MMORPG actually. Do you like open world games, like open world exploration games?
I mean, I enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for what it was. I don't love it as much as the rabid fan base does, but I thought it was a decent game. I like the pacing, the story, the world, all that stuff.
Think of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but with more freedom to explore.
Okay. Yeah, I know, like, you have the mechs or whatever that you get, like, late in the game, or
Yeah, like
and I've
midway.
seen like screenshots. GK is always posting screenshots of that game online. Like I swear I can't get away from it.
GK, man, that's the homie. Because like me and him, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. That's one of the games we say is easily, in my personal opinion, the best game on the Wii U. Easily the best game on the Wii U. Like you, of course, Mario Kart 8 outsold it. Of course, you got Smash Bros. A whole bunch of other games. Nah, Xenoblade Chronicles X is my favorite game on the Wii U. And there's games like Zelda, Wind Waker, which I still gotta beat that game. You got Twilight Princess HD. You have other great games on the Wii U. That game is done so well. It's like from its character creation to just the turn of events, how the storyline changes. It's really good. So I want that game to come to the Switch. So it's like I hope they would improve the multiplayer aspect of it. If they do, I'm on board for it 100%.
There's multiplayer too?
Yeah, there is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that game is huge, dog. That game is huge. It's really good. But Rob, what games would you want to see remade other than Chrono Trigger or Xenogears? Is Rob even there? Rob?
Is he there?
Rob?
We lose him.
Maybe his mic went out.
My computer froze and none of my stuff was working.
I was like,
I tell you, man, my technology is acting up tonight, man. My cam ain't working. Then the computer froze, and my mic stopped working. But I'm here. I'm good.
Okay.
What was the question?
I was gonna ask, like, so do you have any games you want kind of like funded by Kickstarter, other than Chrono Trigger and Xenogears?
Man, I'm gonna go with
Chrono Cross.
No.
I'm sorry. I just had to.
I mean, and that's no disrespect to Chrono Cross, because you remember the debate we just had after the Chillcast last week.
Yeah, I know.
My respect for Chrono Cross is up there, but no, that doesn't need a remake. That's good where it's at. I want a remaster for The Illusion of Gaia.
Wow.
That's
okay.
Obscure.
That would be crazy. If they updated and did a remake or remaster of that, that would be crazy.
I have not seen that in a while. You know
Illusion
what?
of Gaia.
You see, I gotta put this out there. See, Rob, y'all don't know. Rob's love for the Super NES is unmatched by most friends.
Unmatched.
The library
Unmatched.
is extremely
Listen,
good.
I don't care what sales y'all talk. Y'all can talk about Switch sold, whatever. Super NES was the best Nintendo console ever.
Because for him, it's like in terms of balance and everything, being objective, I will admit it's like it had the most balanced games out of everything.
Classics.
You had
Classics.
RPGs. You had action games. When action was actually a genre by itself and not action adventure.
You had sports.
You had adventure. You had sports.
NBA
games.
Showdown. NBA Showdown on the SNES was more complex than most games.
Like, let's see, there's a lot of games, So I respect, your feel for the Super NES. Me personally, it's like for me it became, honestly, it's hard because like the N64 is easily still one of my favorites when I look back at it. Like the N64, it's to this day, it's like I compare N64 games to the Switch, and I prefer the N64 games. Like I prefer. What up?
Is this a segue?
It is.
I saw.
It is.
I saw. I peeped the segue from afar.
It is.
I had my binoculars on. I was looking.
It is.
I pulled a peeping Tom on the segue.
You like the switch up, right?
Yeah, that was smooth there. He had said nothing about the N64 before that. I'm like, why is he talking about the N64? Oh, segue.
Oh man, dang! You ruined it though. You ruined it.
Man.
You ruined.
I just had to. I had to confirm my suspicions.
You ruined a good.
It's no less
moment.
elegant.
You ever see somebody across the street that looks just a little strange? That's what happened. You just I had to make sure for my safety. You know what I'm saying? I had a wallet in my pocket with a bunch of money in it, and I wanted to know what was happening with the N64. That's all it was. I didn't feel safe.
You ruined the moment.
I need an adult. I need an adult.
Oh man. But no, the N64, like, for me, I still say to this day that is the Nintendo's most revolutionary console in terms of what it innovated, in terms of what it brought to the system, in terms of what it made, not just for Nintendo games, but for games and games all around, for PlayStation, Xbox, all around. Like, the N64 is easily the most revolutionary console of all time. That's
tech-wise.
Huh? What happened?
More than the PS1.
Yeah.
No,
Most revolutionary.
tech-wise.
I don't know.
The most revolutionary
I think
Nintendo
the
console.
PS1 was more revolutionary than the N64, and this is somebody who's a fan of the. I still have my N64.
How? I want to hear this. How?
How? It
Disc?
made 3D games more mainstream than the N64 did.
Actually, no.
It introduced, well, not even introduced. It stabilized the use of discs being the form of video games.
Dual analog.
Because you had systems before that, like the Sega Saturn, that did it, but they didn't do it right.
Analog, dual. First, hold up. I'm gonna check that.
Dual analog was PS1.
Dual analog. Hold up. Dual analog was a piggyback off the N64 controller, piggybacked off the Rumble Pack, which came out before the dual analog. Rumble Pack with Star Fox 64 came out before DualShock 1.
So what you're saying is the N64 was the Sega Saturn to the PS1 then, where they did it first, but they didn't quite do it right.
Right. I don't know if I would.
like
I don't
to look
know.
at that as
I
like
would say
Android
that.
versus Apple. It's like Android
I would
does it
say
first
that.
and Apple does it
The
better.
N64, hold on, I'm gonna tell you somebody who had an N64. The N64, if you wanted to rumble, you had to go ahead and buy a rumble pack and put batteries in it and add it to your controller that it didn't come with before. Meanwhile, the PS2 came with that.
Like Sony always does, takes from Nintendo. That's the only reason why they always still alive. You take what Nintendo's doing successfully,
and they do it right,
and do it.
Well, I
and
mean,
do it right.
It's not
just like
DualShock.
iPhone with Android.
DualShock
Android
locks
would
you
do
into
it
some
first, but
games.
iPhone would do it right.
I mean, the
It's the same
DualShock is
thing.
Avidan's reminding me of like
Did not
12-year-old
play
me
some
right
games,
now
though.
when I was
Listen,
still
man.
rampant.
And this is,
Hold
y'all
up.
know how much of a
There's
Nintendo
two-
head I am.
There's too many people talking. What were you saying, NX?
Yeah.
I'm saying the DualShock locked some people out of games because you needed that for some games. You didn't have that with the Rumble Pack. It's like a completely different thing.
Boom.
Well, they
You need
had,
the Rumble Pack
they
with
had
some
the
So I wouldn't say it's done
You did the Rumble
differently.
Pack from
I wouldn't
Majora's
say it's
Mask.
done right if I'm locked out of a game because I don't own a controller that I don't want to go and buy.
No, like no.
Which game were you talking about?
And with that,
I know
even with that on
there are-
N64, there were certain games that you were locked out of if you didn't have the expansion pack.
That
Yeah,
was
that is
only
true.
Kong 64 and Majora's Mask.
Majora's
Mask, Donkey Kong 64.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah,
You needed the expansion pack. Every system
Perfect
had their
Dark
little
too.
shortcomings with that.
yeah. Like I'm not.
I literally had to go get an expansion pack. Luckily, it came with the game with Majora's Mask. But if not, if any other games, you had to go out and get an expansion pack, or you
I
were
got my
short.
Majora's Mask from from Blockbuster, and it had.
I got
expansion
mine
pass,
from
and I
EB
didn't pay it
Games.
for-
Shout out to
I didn't play
everybody
the
that
game for a
remembers
year.
EB Games.
EB Games and KB Toys, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Woo!
Those
Screw KB Toys. Nah, screw KB Toys.
Why are we talking about Rumble, though, as being a bigger revolutionary change than a switch to optical media?
But
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I feel like that
You know what I'm
decimates
saying?
any other argument for the N64 being
Squaresoft
a
Really?
revolutionary system of the
Nintendo
generation.
because of it.
okay. Whoa. Okay, you want to go? You want to go there? How about 4-player
Let's
gaming?
go.
How about 4-player gaming?
Oh, they had that little adapter.
PS1 had
Four-player
multi-tab.
gaming
was
was SNES.
I mean, you
Four-
could play 4-player with certain.
You can do 4-player on NES.
4-player.
Yeah, if you had a multi-tap.
4-player gaming
Yeah.
out the 4-player gaming out the box, ready to play without any add-ons. What's about doing it right like the iPhone? Where's your iPhone and Android analogy now? Use the same thing for the N64. See how they come in
That's
full
fine,
circle?
but you're talking
He's
about
right. He
See how
has
that-
work there.
Okay,
He's
so,
right.
so look. Here we go. 4-player gaming versus discs versus DualShock versus what else?
Remove
Dual
DualShock.
analog
Squaresoft.
versus a strong third party team, like multiple third party teams developing for you. Like, yeah, PS1 was more revolutionary than N64. Did N64
Really?
have its pluses? Yes, it did, but the PS1 was more
Okay.
revolutionary.
Okay,
No question.
and if you want to go into software, games like Super Mario 64 made
Look, hold on. I'll rest my case right here. Look at the title of the Chillcast tonight.
Yeah, that's actually clickbait. You don't know the full title with that. When you said that.
N64 lost
Yeah.
to PS1 says Hiroshi Yamauchi.
Guess what? You want to hear the tagline to that? Due to Japanese gamers wanting to play depressing games while being alone.
I know the whole quote. You put in the important part. That's all that matters.
Meanwhile, Nintendo
You know what that
released
sounds like?
Majora's
You know
Mask,
what
the
that
most
sounds
depressing
like?
Zelda.
It's
that
not.
generation.
Look, the fact that Hiroshi was hurt by the fact that they lost does not change the fact that they lost.
No, it actually speaks to
If
a
I beat you
demographic.
in a game, if me and you play, if we shoot around some basketball, we play to 15.
Oh boy.
And then you happen to fall down
Hey,
and hurt
y'all.
your knee,
Yo,
and you're
Rob-
like, "Oh, he only won because I failed." You still lost.
Yo, guys,
You still lost.
You guys are
You
now.
can give an excuse
you
to
guys
why
are
you
now
lost, but you lost.
You guys are now witnessing Rob being Stretch Armstrong right now. Let's go.
I'm not. I'm just saying. Dog. Like everybody got their hurt excuse when they lost. I was just watching on YouTube. There's this 2K YouTuber named Flight and another one named Cash Nasty.
Yeah.
And Cash Nasty beat Flight in a 3-point shoot around. And when Flight lost, he was like, "Yeah, man, they must have been using remotes to move the backboard. Ain't nobody using no remotes to move the backboard. You just lost. Stop giving excuses to why you lost."
No.
PS1 didn't beat N64 because people wanted to be depressed and saying they lost because it was better games. That's the reason Squaresoft left them to go to PlayStation.
No, Squaresoft left them because Nintendo was being stubborn with it.
Squaresoft left Nintendo because
Exactly. Because you know why?
It's not bad. It's not better game.
You're proving my point right here, Avidan.
It's not proving their point. But also
overall, the PS1 had a better library than the 64.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Have you seen the tech demo of what Final Fantasy VII would have looked like on N64?
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad.
Do we really have to go? Because this is gonna make Square look really stupid right now, and we don't want to do that tonight. Square is on my good graces tonight. I don't want to burn Square right now. I don't want to burn Square because you know what? Have y'all seen the tech demo on the PS3 of Final Fantasy VII? That's my case. Anyway,
well, the other thing, like I was gonna say, is like when you said that Nintendo the 64 was the most revolutionary system.
I'm about
That's
hardware.
where he messed up.
But you know what?
We said most revolutionary.
But you know
That's
what?
not even true within Nintendo's whole console lineup. I would say the Wii was more revolutionary.
Thank you.
How?
Yeah.
How is the Wii more revolutionary?
Motion control.
Look at the sales numbers.
Controls are pretty much dead now, though.
But
Yeah,
But
yeah, now,
it was
at the time.
revolutionary,
Not
and it
with
made the
VR.
rest of
Okay.
the industry copy off them. Connect,
Okay,
Yeah.
time out.
PS4i.
Last War was like the only game where you could have full all directions control over your character.
Listen,
Look,
No,
I
there's
don't
plenty
think
of
motion
things in
controls are dead. I
history
use motion
that are
controls as well, too.
revolutionary and don't last forever, but they changed this whole shaping of what's going on
and
around.
that's
That's
what-
why the Wii was revolutionary.
The Wii is everyone's favorite dust collector on the shelf for video games.
That's
We're-
fine. So
we're
is
not-
the Wii U.
We're
What's
not,
your
we're
point?
not,
Not
we're not, we're not
2006
gonna
though.
Actually, no, the Wii U.
And you
actually,
love the
people-
Wii U.
People actually play the Wii U. People actually play the Wii U more than the Wii. But people who owned it, people who own the Wii U. The people
Why?
who own
Because they
Wii U.
homebrewed it. Because they homebrewed it. That's why.
No, because it's actually good
Yeah, that's
games.
why.
You don't own a
That's
Wii U,
why.
so your
No,
opinion don't count.
I know. You know why? You know why I don't own
Your
a Wii U?
up,
Because
yeah,
I actually
yeah.
spend my
So
money-
your opinion is
I don't like spending
invalidated.
money on trash.
Your opinion is
If I
invalidated.
want trash, I'll go out and dig in the garbage can. That's why I don't have.
Listen. You call the Wii U trash. It's like someone in the stands calling a basketball player trash who can't play basketball right now. You don't own
Yes.
it. You're not in the
Yes.
field. So
The Wii U is the Kevin Duckworth of video game consoles.
Oh man, but no, literally, let's go back. Let's go back to my point. When I said the N64, I'm speaking about hardware and software aspects.
I would even say the original NES was more revolutionary. That system launched at a time when we were going through like a video game crash, and everyone was convinced that era was over, and it came out strong and reinvigorated the entire industry.
Definitely, but one of the most what's one of the most sought titles today that people play a lot, open world games, right?
As a genre, you mean, or a particular title? What would you say?
As a genre, a lot of people are into open world games right now, right?
Yeah.
Super Mario 64, revolutionized.
Super Mario 64 is not open world.
It's an open world aspect of it. It is an open world aspect.
It's an aspect of it, but it's not an open world game.
But in the way how it plays and how you could move around and have free roam in a sense, you go into different worlds, but you could world.
It's more of a sandbox than the open world.
No,
I understand.
I always thought it was more of a hub kind of experience, really.
Yeah, it's really a hub game.
But
the same way if you're gonna talk about a game nowadays like this, like N64 is a hub in the way that the Outer Worlds is a hub. It's not an open world game; it's a hub.
Okay, but in a sense,
Kakarot's a hub.
Yeah, your better bet would have been going with Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is more open world.
I would say so Ocarina of Time, and let's use both of them. I use both of them in my examples, right? So let's VC. That's cool. VC will have you on here another time. But let's put it this way: games like that have paved the way for the fact that Gabe usually just even playing earlier. GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto games, like the Grand Theft Auto was a top down before Mario 64 and Zelda. It was, and after Mario 64 and after Zelda, what became a 3D game all around?
This is a reach. I want you to know it's a reach.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a reach.
How's it reach? How is it a reach?
You're gonna say that GTA became an open world 3D game because of 64 and not just because that's where the industry was going with the PlayStation at the time?
The PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean
everything was going around there. If that's the case, then the Bouncer is a hub game that was revolutionized because of Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64. It's not. It's just where the industry was trending at the time.
Okay.
Graphics got better. You were able to do more with the technology. That's it.
Okay. You go ahead with that. We derail with that. I don't agree. I don't agree with. Hey, look, man, I don't agree. I don't agree. But I am controlling it, making sure we can stay on topic. I want you to know that I love Super Mario 64, y'all. I just want you to know that it's not the originator of everything. Okay, like that joint is not Virgin Mary. I just want that to be realized. It's okay. It's okay. 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 I would say when that game did it, a lot of games follow suit. That's what I'm gonna say.
And no, R3D Sega is not more revolutionary.
Sega is derivative. Sega's Dreamcast.
Sega's whole existence comes from, oh my god, we need something to compete with Mario, and that's where Sonic came from.
Sega
it's derivative. It's not revolutionary.
Sega is so sad because when they finally were doing their own thing with Dreamcast, it was too late.
Sega, they weren't revolutionary. They were just way ahead of their time. Like they had great ideas. They were always like 5 years too early. Like
they were also super aggressive. So
yeah, like way too early. way too early. But anyway,
the Dreamcast was revolutionary. I'll give it that one.
It was. The Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast was revolutionary.
Man, now I want to play Dreamcast.
They just didn't do it right. That's my whole point of sometimes it matters less about doing it first and more about doing it right.
Yeah, I missed that.
Okay. That's what it comes down to.
That's fair.
But back to on topic. So the late president of Nintendo said the N64 lost to the PS1, and of course this is like in sales because the N64 didn't do well in sales, like in terms of its other consoles, in terms of other iterations and everything. He said it lost to the PS1 due to Japanese gamers wanted to play depressing games while being alone. Just to give
sounds like a hater to me.
I'm gonna like speak objectively on that in a second. Let me just read what this article says for you guys. So, late Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm going to butcher that.
Yamamoto.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Not NX got me. Anyway, definitely helped Nintendo reach new heights, but he didn't exactly fit in with Nintendo's kind, family-friendly image. He was often quite biting his statements, and an interview snippet from a classic issue of Game Republic magazine puts that on full display. Back in the days of the PlayStation, many thought Nintendo would easily trounce the newcomer. That ended up being about as incorrect a prediction as possible, as the PS1 became an absolute juggernaut. The platform's wealth of third-party content helped make PS1 a success, as Rob pointed out, and Mr. Yamauchi felt there were another reason for Sony's impressive gaming debut. I'm not gonna read more into that because really the headline itself, what he's saying about Japanese gamers, honestly, just being objective about the N64. As much as I care about the N64, as much as I like the N64, I do have to acknowledge that Nintendo was being stubborn with their technology and sticking with cartridges at a time where going over to disc technology, which was the original plan and leaked images from, if you guys remember Ultra 64. Ultra 64 was supposed to be for disc accessible, but they went a different direction and wanted to use only cartridges, which kind of like put Nintendo where it was for the longest time and literally one step behind of everybody. So when the PS1 and the PS2 when the PS1 was out and Nintendo was out with the cartridges, PS2 came out, but then Nintendo responded with mini disc, which blows my mind. Why would they respond with mini disc? And then when PS3 and Xbox come out with PS3 and Xbox 360 come out with HD quality, Nintendo uses the same 480p with a whole disc and not HD compatible, which blew my mind. It's like, why are you going that direction? Which is why, Josh, that's why I can't really agree with the Wii being the most revolutionary, because the disc didn't even play in HD. No game played on HD on the Wii. None.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they would have needed that to be revolutionary necessarily.
But it's like, in terms of just motion controls and Wii Fit, I feel like it just introduced more so. It was more so a time period to captivate casual gamers. It wasn't necessarily revolutionary. It was just more of a cash grab for people who don't necessarily play video games. Let me put it to you this way. That
doesn't sound revolutionary though.
That's not revolutionary.
If you bring in non-players to get them excited,
just if it's just for that console by itself, and because it didn't really cultivate new things that are going to be used later on and continuously be used. That later on, the only thing that it really used later on was the motion controls, which people still use with the Switch Joy-Cons. But even with that, more people to this day, even by polls, prefer using the traditional controllers.
Yeah, but I think you can also argue those motion controls pave the way for one-to-one tracking for VR as well.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Well, absolutely.
And that's heavily used for that technology.
I'll give you that. That's I actually mentioned that in that video that the Wii did cultivate that. So you got a point there. You do got a point there.
It was also the first Nintendo console with virtual console.
So, but yeah, I would say the Wii by itself is not exactly. No, not at all, Leah. Not at all. It's just being honest. You don't have to be a hater to be honest. But I personally don't agree with the Wii in itself. But going back to his point, I just feel he's not acknowledging that Nintendo severed a lot of third-party relationships. One being Square. Like, how do you, like, literally, VC, have a good night, bruh. How do you literally sever the relationship with what happened?
No, I just finish your point, and then I want to walk back my entire position on the PS1 being more revolutionary, and I'm going to go back to what you're saying and claim instead that the N64 is more revolutionary. But you go ahead. But for reasons you may not expect and may not
There we
share
go.
after I explain it.
I gotta hear this.
There we go. That's
You go ahead, and then I'll say
there we
my
go.
piece.
Oh man, this gonna be fun. But yeah, going back, I just feel like they severed a lot of relationships. They severed the relationship with Square. Square was a heavy supporter on the Super NES, and they just lost a lot of relationships. And the N64 doesn't have any RPGs at all, and that's sad. That's one of my favorite genres of games. So that's the one sad part about the N64 that I don't like. But Josh, what is your point? I gotta hear this.
Not for the reason you think.
No,
but
I want to hear it. I don't hear it either way.
I totally forgot the history behind PlayStation, and ultimately, at one point, Nintendo was going to try to make a disk drive attachment for the Super Nintendo, and they were going to have Sony do it until right into the point where they were going to make the announcement. Then, like right before they did, they shocked everyone and announced, "Oh, actually, we're going to go with Philips, and we're going to be working with them on this." Humiliating for Sony, who had put time and resources into creating it, and then they decide not to waste that tech and go on to create the PlayStation. So, honestly, without Nintendo, we probably would not have a PlayStation to have put forth a revolution in disc-based technology for widespread adoption and ease of third-party support. So
dun, dun, dun.
maybe it swings back towards Nintendo, but
Armstrong.
it's a stretch. But can we agree that we wouldn't get PlayStation without Nintendo? Is that fair to say?
Oh no,
agree with that.
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. I always say that. Like Nintendo created this giant monster of Sony. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
By same measure,
What
I would
happened
say like,
is
oh, go ahead.
Nintendo dropped the bag. That's all it comes down to. Nintendo was supposed to help the PlayStation happen. Nintendo turned their back on Sony and went with Philips, which gave us the horrible CDI. And then Sony brought the PlayStation themselves.
Best
And
result.
killed Nintendo. That's all it was.
Right, like another analogy I'll make for that is Apple engineers go out and visit the Xerox PARC Research Center, right? They steal just lock, stock, and barrel tons of technology, including, the idea that we use a mouse today to control a cursor on screen, and then Apple gets most of the credit for it because Xerox dropped the ball. It's very similar to what Nintendo would do in creating this monster in Sony.
Yeah. Quick thing before we go forward. Smash JT, thank you so much for the $5 donation on Streamlabs. He said much love, fellas. Thank you so much for taking the time to donate. Really appreciate you, dude. Thanks for coming out. And Judge, what's going on, man? Have not seen you in a while. And yeah, going back to your point. Oh, got quiet.
To my point?
Yeah, I was thinking. I passed it back over to you.
Oh no, that was the only thing I was saying is that it was just there are a lot of parallels you could also make there where it's like like Apple and somebody had mentioned this in the chat earlier, I missed it, but like they don't inherently create something new, they just take what's already there and they refine it to the nth degree and then make it just mass market adoptable, and that's exactly what they did as far back as like '84 with the Mac. Well, not really I guess it would have been with the Lisa too, but like the original Macintosh. Most of those ideas were not their own. They basically there's this huge disconnect between the top brass at Xerox and the weirdo beatniks out at PARC that were working on the actual concept stuff that they might be able to put in production someday. And they just walked them right in the front door. They stole everything, and then they created the Apple computer, and a lot of that technology was not even theirs to begin with. So in a way, I think there's a parallel there between what happened to Xerox dropping the ball and, as Rob pointed out, Nintendo dropping the ball, which led to the creation of probably one of their biggest competitors, if not their biggest competitor.
Yeah, but I would say the Switch. I would say I'm responding to Lise because like she made a good point. She said, "What other console?" Back to the Wii discussion. What other console made people lose weight in terms of being revolutionary? Which I just said the Switch. That was my only thing. I know it's a reach because of the new game that came out and everything, but it's like I'll give that to the point to the Wii. The Wii did help other people lose weight and everything with Wii Fit. Which who knows the sales on Wii Fit? I know that was the most selling game on the Wii.
Really? Did that do really well?
Wii Fit and Wii.
Yeah.
It was like 40 plus million.
Wii Fit,
Wow.
Wii Fit,
Extremely well.
Wii Fit, and Wii Sports. Both of those games.
Like I remember it coming out, but I never remembered it being that successful.
Listen,
my grandma bought
I
Wii
had
Fit.
family members who don't play video games buying Wii Fit.
So my grandma still has the Wii Fit board at her crib.
So I have family members who bought that. So, and they don't even play video games. So it's like, yeah, was known for doing it involving the weight. Yeah, it was well known. Samuel, have a good night, man. It was very well known for that. But Wii Sports is great. Nintendo just packaged it with every other Nintendo for the first round consoles.
Yeah, and they count that in the 80 million sales, so that don't count.
No, it does, because if you say that doesn't count, then you got to say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sales don't count, because a good
Super Mario World don't count.
Yeah, it's like you had to say games that were bundled in with those games don't count. It counts.
Well, let's just add an asterisk onto the end of it.
It counts, but I would say, sheesh, being hosted by Rob Regal. What's going on, man? Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bruh. Appreciate you. But I see your point. I see your point. You got it. But going back to his statement, I don't agree with it. I feel as though like what Rob was saying, aside from me joking with Rob earlier, it's coming from someone who's speaking from a place of loss. Like, you're speaking from someone who you had way less sales. Why not take an accountability that we could have had better design or better hardware?
It's kind of a ridiculous statement to begin with.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's assuming that Japan is 100% of the sales when he's saying that too.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's also like, if they didn't mess up the deal with Square, they would have had, I guess, these quote unquote depressing single player games on the N64,
Exactly.
They had them, I guess, on the Super Nintendo with Final Fantasy 6 or 3, whatever you want to call it. That's a depressing game.
It is. There's a lot, man, with that. It just makes me shake my head at him, and I'm like, you kind of reaching there.
Yeah. In hindsight, we know the N64, it didn't really run games well. It had great games, but none of them, you can run these on better hardware now, like tenfold. It's insane how well you
wasn't optimized.
No,
well, I watched MVG's video about that. Apparently, it's a lot more complicated than just that. But
yeah,
it it was the beginning of 3D, so there was a lot of jank and everything. And Sony just happened to come in kind of right behind Nintendo, so they released something really big, and they're like, "Hey, what works from this? We take this, we take that." They have the better hardware, the better controller, and it's kind of just a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's like because originally the original PS1 controller was in analog. Because I noticed I got when I got my PlayStation 1, I didn't have analogs. I'll do analogs on, but they constantly saw what Nintendo was doing. Sony saw it's like, okay, since we can't work with you, we're gonna take from you. That's basically what they did. It was a very aggressive form of marketing on Sony's behalf. And unfortunately, Nintendo did not respond correctly until, I want to say, 2017, where they stopped trying to fight Sony and Microsoft and started doing their own thing again.
Yeah.
Where they came out with the Switch. That's when Nintendo finally got back into their own good graces. So, but this actually goes into I want to just go into a side topic. What are you guys' thoughts on the 32X then?
The Sega 32X?
Yeah. What's you guys' thoughts on that?
The expansion?
It's insignificant.
Dang.
I mean, that's why I said, I guess.
Like, who was an angry video game nerd? Like the Genesis had a variety of weird bolted-on Frankensteinian peripherals that made it look like that system was on life support. To me, the 32X was just another Sega activator or Sega CD. Or
you talking about like the tower?
Yeah. Like because you can stack it like infinitely. Yeah, I mean Sega was always willing to take hardware risks like that, and I mean, I commend them for it, but ultimately none of them really landed with any sort of bravado that I can think of. I mean, do you know anybody who's like crazy about their Sega Activator when they think back on their retro times?
Had to go get that 32X.
I'm just saying.
I've actually never owned a Sega console.
Like Smash gets it, man.
But the hate, the burn on it is real. But I want to actually go ahead and talk about something Smash related, because there's been a lot of people talking about Sora for Smash, and I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't care about Sora at all anymore. I'm kind of done with Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, if only we could get more Fire Emblem characters.
I understand. I mean, you know, Kingdom Hearts.
I want more Three Houses characters.
Yeah, I just feel like there's
Put
not a lot of representation for the Fire Emblem fans out there, you know?
Yeah, man. I need at least 10 more.
Here's my thing about Sora. I think Sora would be actually a really cool character because of the mix between the blades, the magic. You could even throw in some drive forms, all that stuff. I think he would be a really cool character with a nice kit, but Disney would never let that happen.
That's what I figured. Like licensing would be a huge.
Disney has there's been reps from Disney saying they would be for it, but Nintendo needs to approach them. Because Disney owns it. Disney is not really against it. The whole thing that Avidan's talking about, he's talking about that rumor, quote-unquote rumor that was going around today, that was speculation by Imran Khan, formerly of Game Informer, on the Kind of Funny Games podcast, where he speculated about things, and then a bunch of major websites took it as fact and reported it as reports. And that's what I want Sora for Smash, but what I have a problem here with most is the amount of websites not stating this is speculation or rumor, when he actually said, he clarified he was speculating is what it sounded like, and he actually said he thinks Sora has a pretty good chance. So it's just clicks. It's just clickbait to get clicks, and that's the major problem here.
I'd rather have Doom Guy than Sora. Just saying.
I'd rather have Doom Guy than Sora too, man.
Doom Guy's cool.
You know what? I'd rather have. You know what? Not just Doom Guy. I'd rather have Master Chief. Give me Master Chief.
I would be fine with Master Chief too.
Yes, J Biggs. Give me Master Chief. It's the same thing.
I think Master Chief would be so bad, like just to play as. I think he would be such a bad character. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, if you give him a Needler, cool.
Who else?
They have some interesting.
Let me see. Is there really anyone for Smash like that? You know what? I'm
gonna
say this. I'm gonna say this right here. At first, I said a few people. I said, Strider Hero. I said a few people, but you know what? I'm gonna say something that I probably thought I would never say. We don't need any more Smash characters, yo. We do not need any more Smash characters. We have enough. Like, literally, we have enough characters. Like, you have, 80 characters? 80 characters you can use in a fighting game? That's enough. Move on to the next game.
It's pretty insane.
Like, we literally have... Captain says, how dare you, J-Bix says Twin Tail and Smash. I mean, like... I don't know. We got enough people. I'm just tired. I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored with Smash Brothers. Like, I'm starting to want to play games like Soul Calibur again and Street Fighter more often.
I've already gone back to Melee.
So
it's the best Smash gameplay wise.
You said what?
Melee is the best gameplay wise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I need to play Melee again. I haven't played Melee. Last time I played Melee was in the last time I played Melee was when Chips beat me at Long Island Retro, and that was 2018. Yeah. So yeah, I had to put that out there because I always go on Chips on how I demolished him in Tekken 3 at too many games. But I will give him his shine that he did, demolish me in Melee, which I'm not that good in Melee at all.
I'll bring Melee to too many games this year.
You going to too many games this year?
I'm trying. I'll bring Melee.
I'm really considering going this year. Like I'm highly considering it. That it's more. It's like 75% sure I'm going. Josh, Rob, you guys going to 20 games?
I'm gonna try to go to too many games. I'm definitely
not.
going to E3. The only other two shows that I'm juggling and trying to figure out is Too Many Games and the Southeast Game Exchange.
Cool.
I would like to go to Too Many Games, but that would be like 2 weeks after E3. So it'd be like I would fly back from LA, like chill out for a week or two, and then because it's in Philly, right?
Yeah.
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 So you gotta come through, man. Rob, you gotta do it, bro. You gotta
It's
come
a
out.
great time.
I'll see what. I mean, y'all know I'm broke.
Well, I'm busy. You going to PAX East too, right?
I ain't going to PAX East now. That ain't happening.
Oh,
I
was
don't
trying to
believe
get
in going to
up
Boston.
Wait. Hold up. Hold up. No, I just listened to Jay Biggs just said. Jay Biggs just said there are no black women in Smash, so if not Master Chief, I want a black woman in it. You know what? Representation.
I'm for that.
Get some of the Apex Legends.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second?
Yo,
'Cause
Lifeline and Smash would be crazy.
Exactly. Get someone in the Apex Legends. There you go. There's your representation right there. If you say like instead of an Overwatch representation, have Apex Legends. Wow. That someone mark this episode if that ever happens. If
and
that
that's
ever
the thing,
happens,
I mean,
mark this episode.
that's the thing that I don't like all that. I don't know about the third party stuff in Smash. Like I don't know, it just makes me feel weird. You know?
How so?
Maybe it's the Melee in me. Melee had no third party characters. It was just this nice tight little roster of Nintendo All Stars going at it. And then they added Snake and Sonic, and I'm like, okay, cool. Twin Snakes is awesome. Sonic Adventure 2, blah blah blah. It's great. But now we're just like, once they added Joker, it's like the floodgates are just open. It's like people are like these.
You know why it wasn't in the other games? Because they weren't Ultimate.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's my time for the day.
That's what you say we leave off the set. But
Yeah, man.
But nah, Chips. Yeah. I don't know if you hear. I actually gave you credit, Chips. You actually got credit for something. You actually beat me in Smash Melee at not too many games. What was it? Long Island Retro. Which I don't know if I'm going this year. I don't know if I'm going this year, bro. Like going by myself last year. Well, no, I wasn't by myself. I saw another member of the community there, but outside of that, it's just not the wave. It's not something I would want to go to a third time. So,
when is it?
Long Island Retro. Well, it's in New York. It's in Long Island, New York, and it's at the end of August.
That's fine. I mean, I could always convince my girl to go spend a day up in New York. She'll just run around the city, spend all the money.
All right, so Chips, you go to too many games. All right, Chips is going to too many games. Josh says he's trying to go. Alex says he's trying to go. All right, Rob, that's most of the Chillcast, man. Come on, you can do this.
I'm cool.
We tried this last year. It didn't work.
Plus, honestly, if I go anywhere this year, I mean, my two main focuses are trying to also go to E3, like Josh, and possibly TwitchCon.
Go to TwitchCon. Go to TwitchCon.
Oh, nice.
Nah, like really on the real, like too many games is still a maybe for me. One, financial reasons. Two, if I'm real, like outside of like meeting up with everybody that first time, it's you say you're going to try to go. Okay, because I'm still in a maybe.
Keep it real, Avidan. You don't gotta hold your tongue. Say it. Say it. What was it, bro?
Y'all want the real? Y'all want the realness? All right.
Was it fun?
I'll say it if you want.
No, I'm going to say it. After day one, it gets boring. It gets real boring. If I'm real, like if you're not there to like meet with the people that you're really cool with and spending time and chilling with them, it gets real cool. And even with that, you don't want to be like, at least for me, you don't want to be around like the same people all day, all night. Like you're gonna still want some time for yourself. And for me, as somebody who still doesn't have a whip of their own yet to drive around, and relying on other people for transportation, that ain't the move. And relying on Uber is going to start costing out a lot of money. Getting food, like worried about getting food and stuff, all that, and then circling around the same area, seeing the same stands, seeing the same games, seeing the same shirts. All that gets boring after a while. It's not really a con you can come get a lot out of networking wise. It's not. And like Chips is more fitting for Chips to go because Chips is more of a collector. You know, Chips is more of a collector than I am. Me, I'm not trying to collect a lot of video games. Like that's not my bag. You know, so I decided to, you know, and I party, so I'm going out there again. yeah. See, Chips is trying to hang out with a different crew. With like last time when he went there, like he was like, "Yo, you guys aren't going live, right?" Yeah, I ain't putting you out there all the way, Chips, but I remember that time. I remember that very well. Yeah, it's it's something for me to say that I would probably just not want to go to, and I would probably just want to just hang out for real. And I figured that I would do better looking at who's going to be at too many games and just do my networking from home. I'm better off doing that. So I'm looking at other conventions this year. If I decide to go, I'll probably just end up just going. I probably won't even say nothing. I'll probably just end up just going, and seeing for myself. And if it's a good time, I'll let you guys know. And if it's not, I won't talk about it. Part of that chill type crew. Yes, I am. I am very part of that chill type crew. It's like, for real, I am a homebody, and I am not afraid to say it. It's like, I'll go out, I'll hang out when I need to, and I'll enjoy myself when I hang out. But when I'm ready to go home and hang out by myself, you will not hear from me unless you are a good friend. I will be huddled up with video games. I'll be huddled up with some anime, some TV shows, or some work to do. That is my life. So yes, I could come off very boring, but guess what? It's boring to you, but fun to me. That's all that matters. Anyway, what was that ding sound?
That was my text messages.
You unprofessional.
It was my mother. I can't answer a text from my mother.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have my mom beat you up, bro.
Hey. I will say
She got hands too, yeah.
Listen. And I'm gonna say your son is a very cool dude.
Yeah.
And he can
That's
rap.
not a lie. It's not a lie either.
It's not.
Those are all facts.
It is. And you know what? And I'll be speaking facts. So you know what? It'll be cool. So J Big said, I am 39, never been to any kind of convention either. And yeah, it's like, if anything, what I'm thinking about going to like other conventions and stuff. Like, I'm even thinking about going, if I'm going to go back to New York, I'm thinking about going to Comic-Con even. 'Cause I've never been to Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, that's one.
Like, Comic-Con seems more fun to me than a gaming convention.
I've never been to New York Comic-Con. That would be great.
Like, I'm thinking about going to New York Comic-Con this year. Like, that's something that I would want to have more fun doing. It's like, because one of the things that I'm gonna start doing, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy me a new camera, and I'm gonna get a cam link, and I'm gonna actually just not only take videos, but just take actual photos of different things, and just give you guys more content in other forms. So, which will, oh man, can't reveal that yet. Dang it! Anyway, moving on to question and answers. You guys have any questions for the Chillcast? No? Got quiet. So anyway,
Hey, Avidan,
what's up?
what did Obama have for breakfast today?
I don't know.
It was a question.
Oh gosh, no. End the podcast now. Jacob has a question. This is not a drill. Jacob has a question. Everyone end the podcast. All right, cool. Everyone. Thank you guys for coming out. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure you go ahead and follow Josh, NX, Rob, Tether Gaming, and myself on our respective platforms.
He's really rushing. I didn't see that coming.
Nah, I had to sell.
I'm a little bit afraid.
I had to sell the joke. I had to sell the.
I need an adult.
I had. Look at Chips. Oh gosh. No. No. Like, you guys probably missed the joke. Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Whoa, man.
Pause. Pause on your entire life right now. Hold up. Chill. Pause. No, we don't do that. We don't do that here. No.
Those blue legs.
We don't do that here.
That's awesome.
The blue Sonic the Hedgehog legs.
Oh man. Anyway,
Human legs.
we are not bringing that back up again. We are not bringing that back up again.
I just liked hearing Rob being mortified. That was one of my favorite parts of the Chillcast last year.
Yeah, because rightfully so.
Rightfully so. I'm not disputing. I'm just saying it was a personal favorite moment. Is all.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I've never heard you
I'm
disturbed.
I'm glad my pain could bring you pleasure.
It did. You know, it was just interesting. It was a departure from from form, I guess.
Anyway, do you guys have any questions for us? Did Nick start that? No, Nick did not start that. That was all Jakin. Oh man, that was funny. Like I literally got y'all believing I was edited the Chillcast early.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, nah, I'm not.
Started talking like Twista out of nowhere. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
All right, overnight celebrity.
Nah, I'm not a rapper. But anyway,
You will once you get the pink dread.
nope. How dare you? No, no, that's not happening.
A little Avidan vert.
First of all, Rob, we could fight. We could fight, Rob. That's all I gotta say. We could
That's
fight.
a vicious rap name. I don't care what you say.
I don't care. We could
support
fight.
it.
No one asked you.
Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want.
Oh man. Chips, I'm not that savage. I value my hair. Tooth O said PSO2 beta anyone. So the PSO2 beta is basically failing dramatically right now. Like for anyone who's been trying, like if you've been watching anyone trying to live stream it, it's been rough times trying to log on. It's also been once you get logged on, there's a lot of lag. I don't think they stabilized the servers for this because it's not looking good for the English servers right now.
Yeah,
not at all. Speaking of which, I actually want to touch on a donation we got earlier in the chat, a $3 donation from Matthew Hammond, who said, better hardware controller, you are right. Nintendo did have the better hardware controller in every generation that they compared to Sony from the N64 and the GameCube.
What?
No, the N64 controller is an abomination.
A lot of people don't like that, but everyone loves the GameCube controller.
I like the GameCube. I mean, listen, I liked the N64 and the GameCube controllers. Right. I think that the N64 controller was not a better controller than the DualShock at all.
The DualShock took what the Super NES did and improved upon it. Well, no, most of the NES. Most of the
probably
NES.
Now, was the N64 controller innovative? Yes, it was innovative. But
highly.
Again, that doesn't make it better. It just means that it was different.
Yeah.
Different isn't always better, man. But I appreciate the creative process, behind the putting it together. Yeah, that was a very creative controller.
One of my favorite consoles, but the GameCube controller doesn't work for every game. The DualShock works for every game.
It does.
The GameCube does not.
That's
true.
For what Nintendo was doing with the GameCube, I think that they pulled it off nicely, but you're not playing. I mean, buy a PowerA GameCube Switch and play a couple games on there.
That's
play Overwatch or something on it.
You know what?
Well, that would be mainly because of how the games were designed around the controller. If Nintendo released a console with that controller today, every single game would work fine. They would find a way to map the buttons so that it was all right. I think that's just more of a product of your PowerA GameCube controller with your Switch when it was designed with the normal 4-button layout in mind.
You know what?
That's true.
You know what? Let me be fair, and because this whole conversation I'm saying PlayStation took from Nintendo. Let's say who Nintendo took from, okay? Nintendo took from Microsoft. And I'm showing from the Pro Controller. Nintendo took from Microsoft easily with this controller. Yeah. This is nothing but an Xbox Elite controller, but downgraded.
I think it's more comfortable than the Elite controller.
Than the Elite. The Elite is.
I like the Elite. Elite, it's a big boy. It's heavy.
The Elite is probably
the big boy.
It's not like the Duke. Like the Duke was a big boy. All right, that was a big boy. But I'm just saying the Elite's pretty heavy.
I don't know what you guys are going
That's
at
what
with
she
that.
said.
You had to go take it there, Rob, did you?
Phrasing.
That's not my. You can't put that on me. Just I said the Elite was a heavy boy.
Put that on me was also what she said. Okay, anyway, look. Yeah, there's a big controller.
Shout out to Puzzle Gaming, David Gudo, for pledging $1 on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, dude. I appreciate you. Rob, man.
Yes.
I'm at a loss of words. You the homie.
But yeah, I cannot get into Phantasy Star Online 2 either. So I'm playing Phantasy Star 2 Portable right now.
Guess what, guys? Guess what? I get to play Phantasy Star Online 2 right now if I wanted to on PC.
That's
Will
cool.
it work?
It does work. The one that works. It works well with no lag. Yeah.
I mean, they'll fix it. That's I did the Temtem stress test, and I couldn't even get in the first day at all.
To be fair though, I will say this: I do like the fact that they do have it. They got English voice acting now, so that's a good look. So I'm wondering. I saw when OJ was playing that this ship won, and those ships operate like servers. So I'm wondering if I could trade my character over to a different ship. And if I just need to use the yen to do so, guess what I got? I got what's necessary. So I actually can do that if I wanted to. So for people
what is that?
It's actual PSO2 AC gift card. So one of my friends, when he went out to Japan and everything, he actually caught one for me. So I was like, oh, this will come in handy eventually in the future. And so it will be coming in handy when I'm noticing that the PC versions, if I can port my character over to the right server, trust and believe I will. I will port my character over. No question. So, let's see. Tony said, do you think we'll see near... Is it... How you pronounce that, y'all? Because I
Near Automata, I think.
Automata? Okay. I butchered that.
Automata.
Automotive.
Automata.
Near Automata got get crowdfunded for Stadia. We're still talking about Stadia?
Why?
Can we talk about Phil Spencer's comment about how Amazon and Google are his competition now, not Sony and Nintendo?
Yeah.
I think that is
I
like
mean, it's kind of
super
true.
accurate.
That's actually a very valid statement, though.
Yeah.
it is maybe in the next 10 years.
Right.
But why?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Josh. I'll let you finish it. I got a counter response to that.
No, I was just gonna say, like, as far as those next 10 years go, though, I think Microsoft's best positioned for that battle over Sony and Nintendo for sure.
But then in that case, was Reggie wrong when saying Nintendo's competition isn't Sony and Microsoft anymore when they made the Switch? Which literally it's literally saying the same thing. Like Nintendo said, Nintendo wanted to take themselves out the race of being pushed with Sony and Microsoft, and them doing that, they're almost probably over as of now, 53 million units sold in less than 3 years. Mm-hmm. And now for the Series X, they're saying this is the people that we're targeting. We're targeting people who pay for services, not for people who are just buying products, just the products by themselves.
But those people aren't going to go buy a $600 Series X, so that's where it loses me. Because with Nintendo, they're saying that they're not our competition anymore. We're not competing with anyone. We just want to sell quality games to the people that want to play our games. It's like you're trying to break into a brand new demographic, but you're still doing console things.
Well, technically, they're not too far-fetched from that, because you said their competition is Amazon and who?
Amazon and Google. Google fell flat on its face. Amazon hasn't even announced anything yet.
Well, here's the thing. Most people who use Amazon and Google are on mobile devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how much do a lot of mobile devices cost to people who are buying mobile devices? You're saying no one's going to buy a $600 Series X, right? But there are people who are out here buying $1,000 phones that could do stuff that are capable for mobile gaming.
But really, those phones also serve a separate purpose than just a game console. So, like, because all those extra things we can do on game console, I have all that baked in my smart TV.
But then that's where Scarlett comes in.
I think that like xCloud is definitely a good initiative, but the way that I see it is we're going to be done the Series X generation before game streaming picks up serious adoption rates. Because I just don't think that the technology's there. We talked about it last year. I played through God of War on PlayStation Now. It's serviceable. It works. But it's not an experience that I think that is going to pull in casuals. They're going to look at it, they're going to be playing it, and they're going to be like, okay, this kind of doesn't work. This is kind of laggy.
Right.
I think that they need to have buttery smooth performance once it's, you hop into the game, it's working, any frames, you're pulling in those numbers talking on stage with Stadia, then we'll start to see casual people saying like, hey, this is worth the whatever price they're charging to get on board with this. That's just my opinion. I don't think that the cloud streaming is going to really take over anything for quite some time.
No, I think it'll be at least 10 years before you see any significant headway. But, I just, from an infrastructure standpoint, I still think Microsoft's... I'm glad they're at least thinking about it, right? I think Nintendo knows that they probably don't even have to fight that same battle because you're not going to get Mario or Zelda anywhere else. So I think they can be quirky and sort of irreverent as long as they want, and people are still going to find a way to play those experiences, even if they just go the conventional, play games locally through digital or have physical releases. I think Sony will probably be in more trouble.
Got it.
I think after this generation, I think hot water. But from the way that things are looking right now, I think PlayStation is going to come out the gate swinging.
Yeah, they'll have to.
The Series X just sounds like, besides the quote-unquote 12 teraflop 8K, whatever they're talking about, everything else just sounds like they're just blowing smoke.
Right.
I feel like, honestly, at this point, we need to stop focusing on resolution, and we need to focus more on just stable frame rates in video games.
Absolutely.
Stable frame rates in video games and faster loading times. I feel like that should be more of a focus on a newer console. Focus more so on the processing of your games rather than just how beautiful the game looks. Yes, games that look great is cool, but there's nothing more annoying than a game that looks so good but it's so annoying. It is so annoying to play with bad controls, or it moves kind of buggy, or it moves in a way that's just not intuitive to the gamer. So I just want faster load times, and not only just faster load times, but better hardware with better hardware in the system where you could yield better download times to download these larger files. Because the games are getting, because technology is improving, games are getting larger. Then they need to improve a better Wi-Fi technology or better Ethernet technology where you could input the largest download times possible onto your console. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I think there should just be a kind of like how you have in certain games where you have performance mode and graphics mode.
Yeah.
I think they should just integrate that on a system level. Like, do you want better performance, higher frame rate, or do you want to push the graphics as far as you can, push the resolution, fidelity, whatever you want to call it, as hard as you can? I think that's probably the best bet, because I think games look good enough as they are now. You know, I was actually shooting a video earlier because I've been collecting the PS3, so I've been playing a ton of PS3 games. And I'm going back and looking at some of these games. I'm like, these still look really good.
Right.
You know, they're 10-year-old games, and some of them, games like Resident Evil 5 on the PlayStation 3, incredible. The lighting on that game is still top notch to this day. So I agree with you, Avidan. I think frame rate really needs to be pushed coming up in the next generation.
I feel that way. I feel like it really needs to. That's just my personal opinion. But if we are, well, no, we have a few more questions. Hold up, Tony. No, we have a lot more questions. Cool. Puzzle Guy said, Avidan and the rest of the cast, how many games do you complete for the year versus how many games do you want to complete? Oh man. I don't want to answer that question. I plead the fifth. Next question, please.
Like 2 or
I'm
3.
actually keeping track.
Same here.
Next question.
I'm
Go ahead.
5 in for the year, I think. I want to beat 50 this year. I want to complete more than I collect if I can.
All right, so I'm going to complete DBZ Kakarot. I know I'm going to complete that game. I aim to complete Astral Chain and Fire Emblem this year. I know I'm going to complete Final Fantasy VII Remake and Trials of Mana when I get those. So those are the games I know I'm going to complete. Outside of everything else, and The Messenger and Cuphead, I'm going to complete those this year too. So I'm gonna showcase that. Like on this channel, you guys are gonna get a whole bunch of live streams from me. So be on the lookout for those. So, and I may even start editing some of these live streams and making them into fun 20-minute videos for you guys to watch, catching all the highlights of if you missed out on the full live stream. So let me see. Rumor. Let's see. Question. There's a rumor that the Xbox Live will be coming to Nintendo Switch this year. Do you think it's going to happen? It's absolutely possible because Phil Spencer wants to get Xbox on everything, including PlayStation, and they have a good partnership with Nintendo already. So it's extremely possible, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think Nintendo's in a really good position. As far as I think they're in the best position they could possibly be in. They have NVIDIA running GeForce Now on the Shield TV, which is the exact same hardware as a Switch. They have Xbox that clearly has interest in putting their games and services on Switch. And then they had that survey, I guess, which doesn't really mean anything, but the survey for the PlayStation Now, I think they had. So yeah. I think they're in a really good position.
Yeah.
By the way, PlayStation Now is trash.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's nah. That is not it.
I don't really have anything, any other like thing to compare it to. But when I played God of War, it was good for the majority of the time I was playing.
Man, when I played that, John, I was playing. What was it? Uncharted 2. And man,
that's also a little. I think that's a little. I mean, not necessarily heavier, but than God of War. But I think there's a lot more going on screen at a time than God of War.
Well, I haven't touched PlayStation Now. The only game I play on PlayStation these days, if I turn it on, is probably Street Fighter 5 or Monster Hunter. So, next question: what if Sony changes their tune and bring PlayStation Now for the Nintendo Switch online this year or later? I don't see that happening. But if it does, cool. But I don't. I really don't see it happening though. You know, Now y'all know what I'm thinking about though. I'm thinking about, is it time for food? You see how my mind thinks sometimes.
I know how your mind thinks that about exactly this time every Friday.
Exactly. You see, I was good last Friday though. I was
hungry.
I was good last Friday though. Last Friday, I did good. Last Friday, I didn't get nothing to eat, and I actually went to sleep soon afterwards. Yes.
You already talking about eating, Avidan?
Is that a problem? Is that a
Usually
problem?
you wait until we done.
Well, we ain't talking about nothing. Oh man, what's going on, Kazoo? How you doing today? Thank you for coming by. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Anyone, even the chat, the cast, anyone, any last things they want to add before we close on out of here?
What's everybody's most anticipated game of the year?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Solid.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Easily Final Fantasy VII Remake for me. Easily.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, my brother knocked the internet
No,
right
for
out.
me, it's
He
between-
knocked the internet out for like 3 seconds.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
For me, it's between like 2 or 3 games, depending on if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this year, which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But up there for me are Final Fantasy VII Remake and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Oh, that game does come out this year. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's definitely Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cyberpunk, and yeah, if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, those are my top 3.
Yo, okay. Now that we're getting closer to it, what do you guys think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be like? Do you guys think it's going to be more of a story-based game, or is it going to be more of an exploration game like its predecessor?
I'm hoping it's somewhere down the middle.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I think, well, it's the same overworld, so we're going to have the ability to explore.
Okay.
But after watching some, like, speculative analysis videos or whatever, as some people have here maybe, there's a clip in the trailer that shows like an entrance to maybe what is a dungeon, hopefully a traditional dungeon, because traditional dungeons are better than the shrines. They just are. So I hope those come back.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hinting in that trailer, like talking about like the Zonai and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I watch all the theory videos too.
Yeah.
I'd probably say my most anticipated is Trials of Mana. I'm not playing Final Fantasy VII until it's all out.
You would be the one.
What?
They're not gonna give me for $60 2-3 times. I'm gonna wait till they package it all together. Final Fantasy VII Remake Ultimate Edition for $40, just like they just did with Kingdom Hearts. All 10 experiences for what? $49.99?
$50.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you go ahead.
3 separate times.
Well, you go ahead and you do that. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy that game.
Yeah, I've got my deluxe edition pre-ordered.
Same here. I literally will be playing that game 9:30. I'm giving myself some time to come home and unbox it live about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, April 10th on a Friday. Oh man, that's gonna be a good Friday. It is Good Friday. Irony. But
How do you guys feel about Animal Crossing and all this save stuff going on?
What, overrated game?
Puzzle guy asked about if we're getting to
What?
deal one.
I didn't say anything.
I mean, I would expect me to say that more than you. That was
You said
aggressive.
overrated game, NX?
watch now. Can I? All right, you guys want me to say it? You guys want me to say it? Testing.
What's that?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, I got a secret to tell you guys. Animal Crossing is overrated. I repeat,
Duh.
Animal Crossing is overrated. Once more, Animal Crossing is overrated. but I will probably cop the game anyway and still play it.
Animal Crossing, again, I understand why people like it, but it's like a Harvest Moon or a Stardew Valley, but with less things to do.
Yo,
What it is.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
I haven't played Stardew Valley, so I haven't played those games. The closest I've played to to an Animal Crossing is probably Minecraft. But I'm not saying the two are the same. That's the closest I've came to playing an Animal Crossing game. Is playing a game like
So
Minecraft.
now picture that, but even less to do.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's
Animal Crossing is all about the customization of your own character and walking around and doing boring tasks. That's what it is.
I may watch some people play it, and then I may decide for myself if I want to get it.
yeah, it's definitely not a game for everybody. But I enjoy it enough. I enjoyed the GameCube. I enjoyed the 3DS game. I'm not like some crazy fan, but I'm definitely going to get it day one.
True.
Hopefully, I can get my daughter and my girl to play with. That'll probably bring some more
Yo,
fun
Rob,
to
you
it.
good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, it sounded like you. It sounded like you was asleep. That's why I was asking.
Oh yeah, no. My breathing's a little bit weird because I got sleep apnea. So
Gotcha.
sometimes my breathing is just weird like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Like, wasn't trying to be insensitive or anything. I was just making sure you was
Nah,
good.
nah.
Because if you
You
didn't,
know, you know I ain't soft, bro. Like it's all
Yeah.
good. I just explain it when it happens.
cool. Nah, because it's like what I would have did. I just would have came up. I'm like, all right, let me mute his mic real fast, or act
Oh,
like
yeah,
you, or
nah.
act like you dropped off intentionally. And
No,
I'm-
I'm good, man. Just my lungs are weird due to sleep apnea
Yeah.
and 10 former years of smoking cigarettes. So
You glad you chucked the poison.
yeah, man. Hey, listen, anybody listening out there, don't smoke cigarettes. Okay, they are hard to kick. They make you smell nasty.
I second
Even
that.
though if you do smoke, you're gonna fall in love with the smell. Don't fall in love with the smell. It's bad for you. But yeah, man. Nah, I'm glad I haven't smoked a cigarette in this will be 5 years now.
Nice.
5
Oh,
years.
good for you.
I stopped in 2015 when I started working for my the medical job I was working at because we couldn't smoke cigarettes there. So that's what made me quit.
Nice.
So yeah, 5 years. My lungs haven't finished healing and rebuilding yet, as you can hear. So it's going to take a while for that. I think they say it takes like 10 years for the cells to start growing back. So
Nah, congratulations though. Congratulations.
nah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Like, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close on out here. I feel like we're just biding time and everything. Unless you guys have any questions for us. I'm just in chill mode right now, for real. I may actually play some music. But actually, you know what? I want you guys to do something for me. I want you guys know that we are all about supporting. We're all about supporting the community here. So we do have a member of the community here. I don't know if he's still here or not, but Captain Dasher, he's one of the younger members of one of the younger people of this community. Now, which is another reason why I'm also picky on language, because we do have literally younger viewers watching. Like,
Right.
So he actually has a YouTube channel and art channel and everything. I would say that's his latest video. I would ask for you guys just to go out and just show your support, just show your love, like for the people of this community.
Is that the one who came in earlier saying he got permission from his mom?
Yes.
And he said he can't join because his mom didn't want to pay, right?
It was more so for like him becoming a part of the Discord community and everything. So
Yeah, but he said he came back in the chat later and said that she said it was okay, but then when she found out she had to pay for the Patreon, then she said no. How much is the Patreon?
It's $1. I'm about to, you know what?
I'm gonna donate $1 so he can go ahead and get
No. I was gonna. Outside of that, don't do that because I told him to ask permission because I had plans on actually giving him in on me last night when he was on.
Okay.
When I was streaming, not last night, either last night or 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago when I was streaming, I just said give him permission first, and I'll work with him. So
okay,
yeah, I'm gonna Dang, I don't know how to contact. See, I don't know how to contact him on here because he doesn't have. The next time I see him on here, next time he's always the first person live to come through. So the next time he's on live, I'll just give him a link to the Discord. So Rob and your player 2 and NX, you three are mods in my Discord. If I'm not around, I see some foolishness going around. I'm trusting you guys
To ban with impunity. Got it.
Yeah,
Understood.
Language and
Pull out the
everything.
chopper.
Anyone who's a mod in my Discord, anyone who's in my Discord right now, you guys are here. That's out. Chris Levi, that goes for you as well. You're also good, but Puzzle Guy, watch out for anything. Let me know if you see anything. Leah, you're someone else. Chips, I know you're still watching. You guys see anything going you guys see anything going on in the Discord that is not family friendly? Just watch out. And it's like if you're in voice chat, I'll be lenient on if it's just like you and somebody else and everything, and if you just guys are playing like Smash or a game together, you guys can have the conversation you want. Make sure you guys are okay just to have the conversation you want. But if we're having like a community gathering together, let's just keep it family friendly, just so in case anyone joins in, no one joins in on the tail end of something that's inappropriate.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Got it. If somebody acts up, throw them out like Uncle Phil does Jazzy Jeff.
all day. That's why you my homie. That's why you my homie for real.
I do what I can, man. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I like throwing people. So
I do too. Oh, you're back, Captain. Okay, so Captain. Good news. I just shared your new video. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna watch it after the Chillcast, and I'm gonna leave my comments. But I also encourage everyone watching to go ahead and support your channel, man. And what we're gonna do, this is for you, Captain. Now I could make sure. Now I'm giving out the Discord link in the chat for Captain. And when you guys join, and you guys are not members, please believe. You will make sure I'll have Rob throw you out.
Yep. I got the Discord open right now. Anybody other than Captain jumped in that joint? Watch what happens.
So, Captain,
I rule with an iron fist.
Captain, that is the Chill Squad Discord. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you got permission and everything, and don't worry, your mom doesn't have to pay for anything. It's fine. It's on me. Lifetime membership is on me. You're a good kid. So, with that, we're actually gonna close on out of here. So, I am going to go ahead and start with the outro, starting with our guest, Tether Gaming. Where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter for right now, because that's where I'm going to have all my updates. I have a pin post right up there. I'm going to leave the link. But my pin post, I go over all the games that I'm currently playing. I have games that I beat, and I'm going to link the content to that. So it's kind of like in a nice, easy to follow format over there. I do have a video, like I said earlier, going over my PlayStation 3 collection. I got a lot of really cool games that I picked up over the last month or so. And I just kind of talked about them for a little bit, got some footage for everything. And I have videos for Resident Evil 4 and Luigi's Mansion 3 coming soon. You don't want to watch the Luigi's Mansion 3 one because you're probably going to hate me afterwards if you're a fan of the. But
all right, cool.
That's it. Twitter's in the description or in the chat.
There we go. Next up, we have Mr. Your Player 2. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at It's Your Player 2 or here on YouTube. I'll go ahead and put my most recent video in the chat. And that was just my January pickups, the games that I picked up, including Kakarot, which I did do a collector's edition unboxing of that earlier in the month, I think. But yeah, other things that are going to be coming up on the channel, if you're into that kind of thing, is I'm going to do a video about why I think the Vita is a demonstrably better handheld than the Switch from a hardware perspective, and I clarify that a lot. Yeah, that's not without some stipulations. So before anyone freaks out about this, because I love my Nintendo Switch, not saying it's a bad system. I'm looking at them purely from a hardware perspective and why I think the Vita is a better handheld. I'm not comparing game libraries, but I'll cover all that in the video next Thursday. And then Tuesday, I honestly, I can't remember what video is coming out, but it's going to be good. It's going to be something that's basically tips related for anybody else who runs a gaming content focused sort of channel, because that's kind of what I do over on Your Player too. So if those things sound appealing, please swing by and subscribe to the channel, check it out, or just hit me up on Twitter if you feel like chatting games or YouTube or, Animal Crossing, because I am going to force myself to go through that torture when it comes out. So it should be a good time.
All right. And next up, we have NX Revolution.
Yeah, NX Revolution on Twitter. It's in the chat here in a second. There we go. And I believe my YouTube link is in the description of this stream if you want to check that out. Hopefully got some things coming there pretty soon. Had some recent ideas that I want to tackle. But I got to get paid first, so.
Don't we all? And last but not least, we have Rob Regal.
What it do, man? It's your man Rob Regal, live and direct here on the Chillcast like we do every Friday. You know what we do, man. If y'all want to find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rob Regal GXC, mixer.com/Rob Regal. Of course, you can subscribe to me here on YouTube, youtube.com/Rob Regal TV. And you can currently find me in Avidan's Discord, tossing Tether Gaming for typing bad words. Not actual bad words, but just the 2 words, bad words. And yeah, man, that's how y'all catch up with me, man. Other than that, I'll catch y'all next Friday, hopefully with my camera working. And until then, man, y'all be easy, not sleazy. Make sure you underdig what I'm overlaying on the underlay. See y'all on the next one.
Peace. And last but not least, you got me here. You guys follow me on this channel, Avidan Smith. And last night I saw that I didn't do something that was kind of foolish to me. I had 100 subscribers on the second page and then do the custom URL. So the custom URL for the second page is Beats for Breakfast. Yes. No one on YouTube ever had Beats for Breakfast as their custom URL, so I took advantage of that. So you guys make sure you are following that channel because I will be doing more and more stuff on that YouTube. You're going to be seeing a lot more interviews. Like I said, if you missed it from earlier today we interviewed RGTD5. We also interviewed Rob Regal. In the coming weeks, at the end of the month, you're going to have an interview from Your Player 2 available. That was a great interview as well. We interviewed people like Studio Nintendo, MVG. So we have a lot of fun when it comes to those interviews. So make sure you guys are following and subscribe to that channel. Also, I release some music on that channel too from time to time. So make sure you are subscribed to that because I have a lot of great musical ideas that I can't wait to share with you guys. So with that said, if you like this episode of the Chillcast, make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and most of all, you make sure you share this with a friend. This is Avidan. Wait, it's got super quiet. There we go. This is Avidan, Your Player 2, NX Revolution, Rob Rigo, Tether Gaming, and we are out.